enthusiasm. Welcome to another episode of Game Time. I'm JP Murrieta here at Monte del Sol in Santa Fe. And we're now is boys soccer player Pedro Chavez. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're kind of the spokesperson for this team that's having a really successful season. The seeding recently came out for the Fuddruckers State Soccer Championships, and Monte del Sol earned.
I mean, it was great. You know, we were working for that whole season, trying to get the top 4 seeding, and I mean, we accomplished it. Now we got a bye.
You get that first round bye, and a lot of times it's a big gap in between games that you'll end up playing. Do you like kind of the break to kind of get healthy maybe a little bit, some time, or would you rather kind of keep playing at this point?
I mean, we like it. We get a week off.
To get ready for state, you said you've been training hard. What have you guys been doing this year that's been so successful?
I mean, we've been focusing a lot on our passing and our team defending. You know, that was a big problem last year. We didn't really defend as a team, so he was trying to change that.
What's it going to take to lift that blue trophy at the end of?
Work as hard as we can, give it all we have, and you know, hopefully we could accomplish it.
Reaching the state championship and then maybe getting a state championship, are those goals that you set out at the beginning of the season when the year started a couple months ago?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that was probably our main goal, trying to get to.
Just describe this group, this soccer club you guys have this year.
It's a great team. We're all really close. We're all really good friends, and we like playing with each other. Well,
Monte del Sol, we got giggles over here in the back, so I'm assuming a really lively bunch. Monte del Sol earned one of the top 4 seeds. Who are some of the other squads that you expect to kind of be there at the end and give you guys a run for the money?
Definitely Sandia Prep and Bosque. They're probably the ones that would give us a run for our money.
How do you match up with programs like that with and Monte del Sol now is starting to build a program that's competitive year in and year out?
Yeah, we use that as motivation, you know, because we like to prove them wrong and stuff.
Well, you got a lively bunch. You excited for the state championships?
Of course we are.
All right. Well, we'll be back with more Game Time after this. The New Mexico Activities Association is excited to announce the NMAA 24/7 mobile app. Whether you're a student, coach, parent, or player, you can have the power of the NMAA right in the palm of your hand. Find scores and schedules, follow your favorite teams, receive special offers from NMAA sponsors, get state championship information, highlights, features, and much more. Download the free NMAA 24/7 mobile app in the App Store or Google Play. Get it now.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
What do you mean you hate it?
Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerve. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
It is game time. I love this bunch. We're out here at Monte del Sol in Santa Fe. We're switching gears from soccer to now talk volleyball. And with me right now, Chella Butler, volleyball. Now, you're off to a good season. What kind of group do you have on the volleyball team?
I have a great group. It's a young group, but we've got a little mix of seniors. We've got 3 seniors this year, and it's been really nice the way they've come together. We're small as far as numbers. We only have 9 of us.
In a smaller program, what sort of challenges does that present for other things like even practice time and gym?
The biggest challenge, as you mentioned, is not having a gym available here on campus. So we go to the Santa Fe Community College to practice, and then we have our games at our local community Chavez Center. And so that's been a challenge, but the girls play at lunch, they play in PE, they play anytime they can get their hands on a volleyball. And so that's been what has helped the team here.
Even with some of those challenges, you're having a very successful season. How have you guys been getting it done?
You know, the biggest as a team. This year we had 2 new seniors come out for the first time. One of them became our setter, and she's made a huge difference. She's really blended well with our senior that's been with me for 5 years. And so we've been able to blend the 3 seniors with all the young group. We have 9th graders, 10th graders, and only 1 junior. So I think the biggest difference is that they blended together as a group really well.
Who are the teams to beat in your class this year in volleyball? The seeding will come out soon. Who are the teams to beat?
Well, Dulce is a team that we are always on the lookout for is Texaco. Sure. Texaco plays some really tough competition early, and they've been in the state tournament, and I think of one state many years. So they're always a team to beat.
I also wanted to ask you about the soccer program. We talked soccer earlier. How big was that for this school and this program, getting that number 4 seed for the boys?
It's awesome. It's been their goal this whole year to make it to state, to win state, and I think this is just one step along the road for to fulfill their goal of overall to win it.
What would it mean for this community and this school to win a state soccer championship?
With us having such a small number, you know, we have 223 9th through 12th graders, and to have our team be number 1 with other schools that have bigger population and more facilities to work with, it would just be a dream come true for them.
Well, good luck with soccer. Good luck with volleyball. You still got a little bit more to play. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more game time after this. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, did you know one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks? Or that athletes who drink and do drugs are twice as likely to get injured? Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to lifeofanathlete.com to find out today. From the seating and selection for state football, classes 3A through 6A. As the regular season gets close to wrapping up, let's take a look back at some of the standout performances in high school football last. Top matchups of the week. It had a playoff-like feel on the second to last week of the regular season. The two teams combined for over 1,000 yards of offense and 94 total points. Diego Pavia, 29. In the end, Volcano Vista held on for the 51-43 win over Rio Rancho. The Hawks remain undefeated. Roswell's record remained perfect. The defending state champs met up with Alamogordo last week. They jumped out to a 35-3 half was the final. Roswell is now 9-0 with a season finale matchup against Goddard this week. The Wool Bowl will be packed. Speaking of Goddard, Artesia jumped out to a 14-0 lead over the Rockets, but it big way at Bulldog Bowl. Goddard over Artesia, 46-34. Las Cruces continues to roll down south. Johnny Terrazas had 3 touchdowns as the Bulldogs beat district play with their showdown against Mayfield this weekend. Deming has quietly built up a nice 7-2 record so far this year. The Wildcats beat Chaparral 52-7. Deming's only losses this year are to Goddard and Artesia. They haven't lost since the second week of September. Piedra Vista came to Albuquerque and handed Highland another loss. The Panthers led 27-0 at halftime and started the second half by margin for a score. 46-6 was the final. The comeback story continues for La Cueva's Tyler scored on La Cueva's first offensive snap against Sandia last week. La Cueva quarterback Austin Smith had a big game against Sandia. The senior threw for 290 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Bears beat the Matadors 45-14. Del Norte went on the road to Santa Fe, and the Knights, our first score of the game, Del Norte went up 15-0 and held on for a 25-22 win over the Demons. Tularosa had one of their toughest tests of the Military Institute last week. Tularosa turned a 6-0 halftime lead into a 22-7 win. Tularosa improved to 7-1 on the year, tried to wrap up the regular season with a perfect record. They hosted Magdalena. The Panthers got off to a slow start. This was only 8-0 into the second quarter, but that's when things took off. Manal would roll to a 50-0 shutout and remain unbeaten. Beat San Juan County rival Kirtland Central 40-14. Bloomfield is now 9-0 on the year. Lovington met up with Ruidoso last week. The Wildcats built up a 34-7 lead at halftime and never looked back. Lovington with another. Lovington will finish up the regular season against Portales. The El Dorado Eagles got back in the win column last week. I had a pair of short touchdown runs in this one. El Dorado will finish off the regular season this week with a matchup against Sandia. And there's nothing like ending the season with a win, especially when it's of the season last week. Oct29 got the better of Gadsden, 21-12. Here's a look at some of the matchups for the final weekend of the regular season. Clovis and La Cueva will decide their district title Friday in Albuquerque. And let's just call this rivalry week, right? Check out these matchups. Berlin and Los Lunas, Farmington and Piedra Vista, Hobbs Carlsbad, Mayfield and Las Cruces. That's always a big one. Rio Rancho and Cleveland, Roswell and Goddard, Santa Fe and Capitol. Volcano Vista tries to finish off the regular season unbeaten. And West Las Vegas takes on crosstown rival Robertson. A couple days ago, we released the seeding for the state football championships in Class 2A and 8-man football. Here's a look at the brackets. Let's start in 8-man. Tatum is the top seed. The defending state champs will host Rama this week. On the other side of the bracket, unbeaten Manal will face Dora. The last time the Panthers appeared in the title game was 1999.
It's been 20 years since the last time we've done something like that, but we feel that these are the boys that can take us there, and it's just a matter of us staying focused and playing the kind of game we need to play.
I definitely think it's a possibility for us to make it back to the state title game. As Coach Baca mentioned, we haven't been in any sort of district championship, state championship game in 20 years. So I think this is definitely the year that we're going to make things happen, at least on some front.
We've had something this year that I haven't seen in the previous years. We definitely had a little more humility this year, and that's what's going to take us further, just taking one game at a time. And I believe that's how we're going to make it to the state championship.
Class 2A looks like this. Eunice earned the top spot. The two-time defending state champs get a bye. In fact, the top 4 seeds get first-round rest. Fort Sumner House, Texaco, and Lordsburg will all wait to face their quarterfinal opponent. Speaking of the postseason, we also announced the seeding for the 2019 Fuddruckers State Soccer Championships. Here's a look at all 6 brackets, combined with some pleasant background music. A breakdown of the brackets with some coaches' comments can be seen on the entire selection show, which is posted on our website. One of the teams looking to lift the blue trophy is green, and they're quite good. Perfection. It doesn't come all was Sandia Prep in 2005. The top-ranked Albuquerque High boys soccer team has a chance to accomplish the same this year.
Smaller, athletic, but also really technical, smart. And anything, this group understands how we want to play probably better than any group we've had.
Our style is probably more numbers up, so that's either sending our outside backs to go or getting our forwards in, making them turn, and then trying to go on a face on one-on-one or try to get numbers up and counter an attack like that.
The Bulldogs are unbeaten, but they don't talk about
it too much. We just kind of focus on the next game, and
we hear it, but when we come as a whole, we know our focus is game by game. We don't look at the future, we just focus on the next game.
A characteristic we have about this team is that it really, kind of a cliche, but really this group, every session we've got a purpose, every game we've got a purpose, and it never feels like with this group we're ever thinking of anything.
The Bulldogs have played in the championship match 4 of the past 5 years. One reason for their consistency might be geography.
I think we pool players from the UNM neighborhoods, from Martineztown, from South Broadway, from the neighborhoods by the stadium. We've got this kind of clash of worlds and cultures that come here, and they bring that background to the field for the perfect combination of players, specifically in this game of soccer.
We come from different parts. That means we play different at those parts. So when those different parts come together, then it's just something for the other teams to read. So like when they try to mark us or try to pressure us, they don't know how because we play different.
2017. This is another odd-numbered year. Is 2019 the season they lift the blue trophy again?
That year in 2015, 2017, we won that state. It's just that feeling that you have, and we have that feeling this year.
Dogs on three, dogs on three! 1, 2, 3, dogs!
To all the teams competing in the state championships, make sure to tune into Game Time each week. It's the most comprehensive high school sports show you will find. Until next time,